What the hell is government?
Somebody made a little alien video called Government Explained. I like his version better than mine. And it's an alien comes to Earth and asks, you know, like, hi, here I am. And the guy says,
shall I take you to our leader? Your what?
Your what? The leader. The guy in charge.
Our leader. The guy in charge.
The guy in charge of what?
Well, in charge of everything.
You have one guy in charge of everything?
And he goes through, and the alien is trying to understand what this government thing is, and the guy's trying to explain it. Well, it's not really the buildings, it's not the books, and it's sort of the politicians, but not really.
No, he's in charge of government.
What is government?
Well, government makes the rules for us. It tells us what we can do and what we can't do.
It tells you what to do, and it punishes you with violence if you disobey it, and yet you're its boss?
Yeah, society needs government, and that means we all have to pay taxes.
So just to make sure I've got this straight, government makes the rules, and you feel obligated to follow the rules, even the ones you don't like, and it tells you what to do and threatens to punish you if you don't do what it says, and it uses some of the money that it's taken from you using threats of violence to pay for things you don't like and actually think are immoral, like mass murder.
Yeah, but we can ask it to please tell us to do smart things, and please don't take our money and use it to kill people. We're allowed to ask them to tell us to do what we want them to tell us to do.
That sounds like a powerful position to be in. But if you get to choose who does that, I assume that politicians are always the wisest, most honest, caring and respected people among you.
Well, no, not really. I wouldn't say politicians are known for being honest, or wise, or caring. And they're certainly not the most respected people among us. Come to think of it, most politicians are lying, power-hungry crooks.
And people don't know. And the thing is, when you try to get them to actually define it, you start to see that it really is a religious belief. I used to think the belief in government was analogous to a religious belief, and then I realized it's not an analogy. It is a belief in a superhuman entity that you can't see, that has rights that human beings don't have, that gives commands that it's a sin to disobey. That's called a God. And most people don't see it that way, obviously, because as soon as they see it that way, they let go.
I think I can tell you what government is, but it begs another question, and please ask me. Government is the administration of the state, right? Or by extension, the administrators of the state. And of course, the question is, what is the state?
Yeah, thank you.
We're not going to be given that definition anywhere. Washington said that government is not reason or eloquence, it's force. Chairman Mao said it's, that political power grows out of the barrel of a gun. One is poetry, the other is prose. But there's a clear enough definition of the state, and unfortunately it's real. The state is the organization of coercive power over a territory. That's what the state is. You can pick any state you like. Not Nevada, that's not even a province anymore. But the Roman Empire or Hitler's Germany or the United States of America, they're all organizations of coercive power. Unfortunately, coercive power isn't a myth, it's very real. It's all too real.
But you missed an ingredient.
So, yeah.
He was basically saying how the state is an organization of coercive power, which is totally true, but you missed the fundamental ingredient.
Psychological power is added to it, but without psychological power, you can still have the state.
No, you can't.
You can't. Well,
the state is in your mind. That's all it is.
What?
That's all it is. It's in your mind.
I'm sorry, but
instead of, we can argue about what the word state means, the word government is defined as the exercise of authority over a people or place. Authority is the right to rule, not just the ability. People don't call the Bloods and Crips government because they don't think they have the right. So you left out the ingredient of perceived legitimacy.
Psychological power, and it's an adjunct. The Union Army had no psychological power. in big chunks of Alabama. They were still the government during Reconstruction.
Well,
Because they had a brute force. Now, governments love psychological power. They will go on their knees to churches, on the modern church's television. But it's not the necessary definitive ingredient of government. Government is coercive power. Psychological power is its help or its aid or its better, it's everything else.
but it isn't government without authority. In the case where one group doesn't recognize that another one does, the gang is real, the guns are real, the soldiers are real, the violence is real, but nobody, the people who call it government, imagine it to be something other than just a gang of violence. They think it's a rightful, legal ruling class, even if they complain about it.
The people in Alabama in 1866 thought the Union government was a bunch of murdering thugs.
And they were right.
They still had to obey them.
Because of the force. That doesn't make them authority.
Brute force defines government.
No, it doesn't. Because then the Bloods and Crips and every carjacker would be government.
Alabama.
They forcibly controlled it, yeah.
By brute force, without psychological power or authority, they're the same thing.
Yeah, but the ability to violently control does not make something government.
Yes, it does. That's what government
So
is.
every carjacker is government?
No,
Why not? He has the ability to violently control.
They don't have the power the government has. They don't have coercive power. They're not an organization.
You don't think a carjacker has coercive power?
I don't.
I hope you don't get carjacked. It's not going to go well.
It's an organization of coercive power, a permanent organization.
Mafia?
Getting very close.
Nobody calls the mafia government because they don't think it's
If they can
legitimate.
exact taxes and they're a permanent organization and they can enforce you
Mafia.
enforce you what they do, themselves
And nobody
and
calls them
government are
government.
almost identical.
Yeah, except people don't imagine them to be authority, so they don't call
They
it
don't have
government.
the psychological power.
Thanks for the perfect example that authority is the ingredient that makes it government. Because mafia is almost exactly the same, except its victims don't imagine it to be legitimate, so they don't call it government.
Charlemagne went to Rome in the year 800. He went down on his knees and the Pope put a kind of oil in his head and he did a whole lot of stuff over him. Like Charlemagne came back, he was still ruling the countries he conquered by brute force, but now he had this enormous psychological power to back him.
Yeah?
Governments love psychological power. They will do all kinds of things to court and mollycoddle it.
Yeah?
But it's not the essential ingredient. Government is force. George Washington said it, government is not reason, it's not eloquence. Reason and eloquence is psychological power.
And he left out an ingredient, which I don't blame him for, because he wanted to be it. And 2 seconds later, he was violently attacking people who didn't want to pay homage to him as government, as authority.